our roof video now that we're doing. And right there, up on the roof, is a metal valley. And there's some roof vents and some plumbing flashings. Your roof won't leak in the middle of the house. If you have a leak, it's either in the valley, on the roof vent, or in a plumbing flashing. That's probably where it's going to be. Now, how can we not have no leaks? That's always the goal. In the wintertime, you have ice damming, and we get a lot of ice here in Missouri. And I'll show you what they put in the valleys. This is felt, and that is underneath the roof. They put the felt down on top of the roofing shingles, and they put the shingles on top of this felt, so it's very thin and everything. Then we have a ice and water shield, I think is what they call it. And see how thick that is? And it's real thick. It's got a paper backing on it. It comes off and it sticks. It sticks right to the... They put this in the valleys, and when you get in the wintertime, ice builds up around in your gutters, and it builds up on the roof, builds up the valleys, and when it starts to melt is when you occasionally have water dripping out of your ceiling or on the ceiling. This ice and water melt stuff is in the valleys, so that will help the ice when it goes to melt. That will, it's a lot better than this felt, as you can see. A lot thicker, it will hold that back. The problem with the ice is the ice can melt. When it melts, it backs up through the shingles. So unless your whole roof was made out of this ice and water shield stuff, you're always going to have a chance to have some ice. And you know, it sounds crazy, but you know, the roofer is going to tell everybody, well, get the ice off your roof. When it melts, then it won't back up. And you say, well, I just bought a brand new house, how could it be leaking? Well, it's because Mother Nature is making it melt, and it's going backwards, and there's really not much anybody can do. Now, this stuff is very expensive, so we can't do the whole house. So that's why you always have a chance to have a ice dam leak. But some houses never get it. Some may only get it in certain spots. Some roofs are sunnier in one spot than the other spot. There's so much to it that, you know, back in the old days, we didn't even have felt on the roof. The shingles went right down on the felt. Then, you know, it's probably been 10 years ago that they started doing this ice and water shield, because they didn't have it before. And so it helps, but, you know, nobody can guarantee that your house isn't going to get ice dam water. Now, if the shingles are you know, installed correctly, which most of the time they are, then your leaks are going to be from your plumbing flashing and your roofing vents. They weren't cut in right, or the flashings weren't put on correctly. That's where the leak's going to be. So we always have our roofers put our flashings on. That would be a lot better than having the plumber put them on. So we have the roofer do it. That's it on our roofing.